Hello, Kristin.
Hello, Tina. How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, good, good. So thanks for joining me for this call to talk about COVID-19 and how it's affecting you where you are in your daily life, but also the city you live in. So how would you describe the current status in Chicago?
We're slowly starting to open back up. Having a high density of population, we were one of the first states to close down, and then even the city itself being held back a little bit. We were able to see the restaurants open up for dine-in outdoors. So last weekend in Chicago was great. I actually got to go and sit in an establishment and have people bring me a craft cocktail and a wonderful appetizer.
How has it affected the food service sector where you are in terms of, economics and, their chances of reopening their doors?
It's going to be fascinating being in the city of Chicago. I always laugh. We have, some of the best restaurants in the world. You could go to a different restaurant every day, 3 meals a day, and never run out of places to go. One of my favorite Italian restaurants, I was like, I got a delivery, and it was, our server that came and delivered it. So they got creative. We tipped well, but I saw them starting to. It's a small place, been around for about 30 years. They use Facebook. They said you can text us your orders. There was some trust, but they started going outside of the city, and they would advertise that we'll be in this suburb on this day, so place your orders. And so I thought that was pretty creative. I'm loving the open table apps because there's limited seating and it's only outdoors. So you can get on there instead of going through 30 restaurants, you kind of use the apps to find out what's available. And it's been a fascinating time, to say the least.
And in terms of your own kind of daily life, I assume you're working from home. How else has it affected you, all this?
Well, it's interesting. We've been a home-based company for 17 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I should know that. I feel like I should know that already.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, it was, you didn't say it too loud because you might not seem professional, right? But no, Harry and I started, the two of us, and it was a cash flow situation, right? So we're going to start on our computers and working from home. And then we realized that as we grew, that we don't go see our clients. We go to them, they don't come to us. One thing that we need is that human interaction, so we don't all become bubbles. So we had learned a while back that getting together at least once a week, different groups, to see each other, even if it's just to go, to breakfast and to talk. You're never as productive when you're all together as alone at your computer. But I've been missing that connection piece. I got a puppy. I don't know what I was thinking. So I've been raising a puppy. She's 14 weeks old. She was 8 weeks when I got her.
I love that puppy.
Yeah. She's running around by my feet right now, biting my toes every once in a while as I'm talking to you. But what was funny is it was 2 weekends ago that it first happened. And Wisconsin, I live close to Wisconsin, that opened up before us. And Peggy, who works for me, she's also my best friend. And we actually quarantined together. So she's been working for me for about 6 years, and we met in the late 90s. And I'm single. My kids have moved out, and same with her. I've got a big place where the kids have left, and we decided, since we're working together and friends, so that helped tremendously. So we kind of would work during the day and keep each other company and cook, and we made candles, and we did things online, and we got all sorts of creative.
I like that.
Yeah, right. So. A lot more cooking. As Peggy would say, she's making some more soup. I felt like we were like the grandma's house, homemade soup all the time. But but it was good. Like I said, I think with anything else, it comes down to attitude, right? You can change something, change it, and if not, accept it, make the best of it. And
so I guess you must have missed your family then, your children. Have you been able to see them?
And my kids are fairly local. So we got together Mother's Day, saw in person, and we decided to kind of take the leap. We had all been healthy and got together, did some social distancing, outdoor kind of thing. And then talk to them more, but see them a little bit. Yeah, we're slowly coming out of this mentality of lockdown. And I think it really took a left for me when I was sitting outside last weekend, or the weekend before, first time out at a place up on a lake, having a cocktail on a sunny Sunday afternoon, watching the boats go by, and realized how important that is, and that it doesn't take long once you start to experience that for you to start feeling normal again. It's quicker than you think, I promise.
In terms of, so you're talking about, the environment has clearly benefited from this. But what kind of things will you take out of this experience in terms of positives to maybe continue doing? Or
I'm not sure at this point. I think we're still in the middle of it. I'm not sure. I do know that I will never take eating in a restaurant or seeing my family for granted. It did amaze me how quickly the whole world shut down. We take a lot for granted. And I think if we can just step back and appreciate the people and the opportunities that are around us, if that's just the first small step, and then see where it goes. Harry, my partner, he had a great idea, and so because his wife works in a hospital, so we ended up buying a bunch of gift certificates from some local restaurants, and then turning around and donating those to the emergency staff at the hospital. Trying to do our part a little bit, keep the restaurants going and help the social workers. And, the definition of hero has changed a little bit, I think.
Oh, yes. In terms of the hospitality sector, do you think this sector as a whole can take some lessons from this to say, here are the things that we could maybe improve or to be a bit more prepared should this happen again?
I think it's going to be a couple years till we really see what the effects of all of this are. But I think we'll see some short-term solutions that make people feel comfortable. And then I think that there'll be some of that slipping away. And it just depends on when the authorities and the health departments from a food service standpoint come in and what kind of guidelines they start putting down and how uniform that is.
Well, a day at a time is probably not a bad way to live anyway.
Well, it's kind of like find a direction. I don't think we can line out all this stuff, but have a direction, right? And then put your head down and keep going and pick yourself up and go, all right, am I heading in the right direction? Yep, okay. And next thing you know, you kind of get there. Like I keep going back to just appreciate each other. This time, really appreciate as a human species how much we need each other. Because we cannot do this alone. So.
And obviously, I was going to ask you where you'd be headed for your first meal after lockdown, but you've already had it. Where was your first post-lockdown meal?
My first post-lockdown meal was at a place called Port Edwards. It was out in the suburbs on the river. It's a seafood restaurant. And we had amazing margaritas and some crab cakes. And a couple other appetizers, and just watch the boats go. Yeah, being outside, water, people, tables far apart, servers with masks on. I have a lot of, I spent 7 years waitressing and bartending when I was raising babies. So my heart goes out to how hot it must be outside in the summertime wearing masks. So if anybody's listening, be nice to your servers and overtip.
That sounds like a brilliant first post-lockdown meal.
It was great.
All right, Kristin. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Hopefully you'll get your meal soon. It's coming, I promise.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will, yeah. All the best, yeah? Take good care.
Yeah, right back at you.
Thanks so much.